Hello everyone, my name is Jules and I am the choreographer to the piece called Heal. And I'm going to be answering some questions for you, so let's get started. So my first question is, what was your biggest inspiration? And my biggest inspiration for this piece was actually the music. A few years ago, I came across this beautiful piece of music and I was going to do it for a final for a dance actually, but it was just way too intense for the final, so I put it in the back of my head and I fortunately came back to it, and then I started stalking the composer on Spotify, and I started obsessing over his beautiful pieces of work, and I actually listened to them, digested them, and started creating some movement to them. So definitely the music was my biggest inspiration. What inspired the meaning behind your piece? So the meaning behind my piece, I always found dance to be a form of coping for me and healing. You know, whether I'm frustrated or angry or sad or feeling alone or isolated from society, I would go to the studio, I would turn music on, and I would just dance my feelings out, plain and simple. So I asked my dancers to tell me about a time in their life when they did feel isolated or broken, or they were struggling mentally or even physically, and I'm very grateful that they were able to share these feelings with me and these stories, because it did help with the creative process and it did help me create these pieces on them. The first piece is called Brain on Fire, the second piece is called Letting Go, and then the third piece is called Can You Hear Me Now, and then the last piece is called Heal, which is a group piece. So I did 3 solos and then a group piece, and you'll have to watch and see what they're actually about. So my last question here is, what goes behind the choreography process for you? So I feel like I have a little bit different choreography process than other people. I don't know. So I first pick the music, obviously, and I listen to it, digest it, see what I can come up with. Then once I'm in the studio with the dancer, I will allow them to hear the music and interpret it the way that they hear it and feel it. And then I'll see how their body moves and see like what I can incorporate in there and see like what comes natural to them. Then from there I will start choreographing. And there were times where I did come into the studio prepared with choreography to share with them, but other times I would just play the music and see what worked and what didn't, and what I loved and what I hated, and that was pretty much my choreography process, you know. I just like to choreograph on the spot, and it keeps me focused and aware and keeps me on my toes. Same with the dancers. So yeah, I hope you guys tune in for Friday's performance at 7, and enjoy.